Hi, Phyllis here from southernfrugal.com. Today we're going to make some shrimp casserole, and we're going to have it for lunch, and it'll serve 4 people, so we'll just put the lid on the casserole dish and have it again tomorrow or the next day. Alright, here are the ingredients that you'll need. Turn this down so you can see. You'll need 8 ounces of shredded sharp cheddar cheese, a 16-ounce bag of shrimp. Now, I get the kind that have the shell split and deveined, and then I'll peel them myself just because you don't ever find these with freezer burn on them, and those that are already cooked or completely shelled sometimes do. You'll also need 1 cup of milk. Now, I use the powdered milk when I'm making any kind of cream type thing, just because I know it's not going to curdle at all. 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and I've got 2 tablespoons of butter melted in my pot. Now, that'll be the middle part of the casserole, and you'll want to make it in at least a 2-quart casserole dish. For the bottom layer, 1 3/4 cups of soft breadcrumbs. Now, these are not dried, okay? They're soft. I used several biscuits and I think maybe a slice of whole wheat bread and just ground them up in the food processor. So this will be the bottom layer, along with 1 tablespoon of Old Bay seasoning spice, because that works really well with seafood. And I'm going to put in that 3 tablespoons of butter. Then I'm going to mash it into my dish. Now, I'm going to go now and take the shells off the shrimp at the sink. And by the way, I put those shells right down the garbage disposal. It grinds them up just great. We don't put anything animal in our compost bin, so it goes down the drain through the garbage disposal. Alright, I'm going to get those shelled, and after I get them shelled, we'll be right back. These are solid frozen, by the way, but I just run them under a little cool water and the shell comes right off. So we'll be back. Again, that's 16 ounces of large shrimp. Alright, I finished taking the shells off the shrimp, and they're all thawed out, so we're ready to get started. The first thing I'm going to do is make up my bottom layer. I'm going to turn this up so you can see. Alright, in this little bowl of breadcrumbs, I'm just going to dump in 3 tablespoons of butter. And again, this is 1 3/4 cups of the dry breadcrumbs. Now, when I say dry, they're, not like toasty dry. Now, to that, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of Old Bay seasoning. And this is great seasoning for seafood. If I can get it to come out. Let me try this one. There we go. There we go. Tablespoon. And just spread that all around. I'm going to move that pot so you can see. And just kind of mix those breadcrumbs up with your butter and your seasoning. Now I'm going to put just a touch of oil in my casserole dish. Just a touch. Just kind of spread that around a little bit. That's just so when we go to dip it out, we'll be sure and get some of the bottom crusty layer also. Alright, now I'm going to just dump this into the casserole dish. Spread it around sort of evenly. Already smells good. Now, while I'm fixing the middle part of this casserole, I'm going to put this in my toaster oven and just sort of to get this part of it to set. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. My toaster oven's going to be on, just on bake. And that is at 450 degrees, but it's not going to be in there that long. And mash my breadcrumbs out so that they're flat. There we go. Okay, so there's the bottom layer. Got in there and let it be heating up. Now we're ready to make the shrimp and cheese middle part of it. I've got 2 tablespoons of butter melted in the pot. I'm going to turn my heat up on medium. 2 tablespoons of flour. Now what we're really doing is just making a white sauce. So maybe I'll just start that out on high so it'll get hot quicker. So stir that around, and once it's bubbly, we're going to add the non-fat dry milk, 1 cup. Alright, we'll just wait till that gets bubbly. Now another word about the little shrimp. These are large shrimp. And what they do is split that back part that contains the sand vein and take that out, and then you've got the shrimp still got the shell on it and the tail, and they're of course solid frozen, but when you run them under just a little bit of cool water, that you can take that shell right off real easy. So I took all the shells off probably in about 5 minutes. It's real simple. Okay, my flour mixture is getting a little bubbly. I'll let it go just a second longer. Alright, now we'll turn that down to medium, and I'm going to go ahead and put in my 1 cup of non-fat dry milk. And to mix non-fat dry milk, you usually just use 1/3 a cup of the powdery milk and then fill it up to 1 cup of water and just mix it up. And again, I use that a lot of times in cooking because I know for sure it's not going to curdle, either when I'm cooking something on the stove or when it's cooking in the oven. Now we're going to heat this milk up, but we don't want it to boil. And you want to keep stirring it because you don't want any of that milk mixture to stick to the bottom. Now I've got a little secret ingredient I use in this, and just 1 little dash of nutmeg, and you won't even know it's in there, but it definitely will give it a little bit of a different taste, but people will never know it's nutmeg. So 1 little dash, that's all. Okay, when this thickens up, we'll be right back. Alright, my white sauce has thickened right up now. And now I'm ready to add the cheese. Now I'm going to put in about 3/4 of this cheese. I'm going to reserve a little bit for the top of the casserole. So I'm just going to put that in. And again, this is 8 ounces. One of those little 8-ounce packs, just shredded up. So you want to save out about that much to put on top of the casserole. And by the way, the oven has been preheating at 325 degrees. All right, I'm going to stir that around. Excuse me. All right, now my cheese is melting. I'm just going to stir that around till it's mixed up pretty well. And this casserole is just very fast, okay? I think it's very fast. Alright, that's pretty well mixed up. Now we're going to go ahead and put the shrimp in. Now, shrimp cooks really, really quick. So we're going to stir this around a little bit and go ahead and cut the burner right off. In fact, we're just going to go and slide it off the burner because it's going to, the shrimp will finish cooking in the oven. And you want to cook this at the 325 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes, just until it's good and bubbly, okay? Now we're waiting right now on our little crust. Let me check on that. Now that little crust needs to cook about 15 minutes in your toaster oven, so when it's ready, we'll be back. Alright, my crust is ready now, and of course the casserole dish will be very hot. I just wanted to show you this. The shrimp already started cooking just a little bit. Can you see the little orange on that shrimp? Now you want to pour it into this very gently because you don't want your bottom crust coming up. I mean, it'll come up when you dish it out, but you want it to stay on the bottom until this gets through cooking. There it is. Now we're just going to sprinkle a little bit of this cheese that we had left over on top of it. Okay, now it's ready to go in the oven, and again, 325 for about 25 to 30 minutes, just until it's bubbly. Alright, when it's done, we'll be back. Alright, our casserole is ready. I want to give you a close-up so you can see some of that shrimp in there. See the little orange? And we're going to have some June peas with that, and some of the kale that we had from the garden yesterday. And again, this is organic kale. It is so sweet and so good. We just have it all the time. And we're also going to have some garlic toast, and that's almost ready. Again, here is the shrimp casserole. I hope you'll try this. It's very, very easy and tastes absolutely delicious.